Hello everybody, welcome to the Am IT Geek YouTube channel. My name is Shabazz Dan, as ever, I am the IT Geek. Welcome to what is episode 9, it's the penultimate episode of the Azure Virtual Desktop Zero to Hero series. And as I have been throughout this series, I am joined once again by my good friend Simon Lee. Hi Simon.
Hey Shabazz, how are we?
Not bad mate, how are you?
Doing good, just surviving this heat wave we've got in the UK at the moment. It is absolutely sweltering today.
I know, it's don't get me wrong, it's been nice having some good weather, but
Not like this.
it just doesn't seem to cool down, does it at all?
No.
But yeah, it's nice to have some nice weather, but just needs to cool down.
Definitely.
Bit, especially at night time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Simon. So as I said, we're in episode 9, and this episode I want to look at securing AVD. Now I think I mentioned it in the towards the end of last episode. Just to recap, last episode we did look at publishing applications. It was a very small episode, as this probably will be. So what I want to look at specifically is securing the identity, because as I mentioned in the last episode, you know, AVD is secure by nature. It's secure.
Yeah.
You take away all the access to the broker and the gateway, which you would normally have on premises with RDS. Don't have to worry about leaving out, the RDS port open. None of that rubbish. It's all taken away. And it's all very secure from a network perspective. Obviously, there are ways you can secure it more by putting in, firewalls or, stuff like that, or third-party firewalls. But it's the identity piece which I really want to look at securing. So what I'm planning on today is showing you how to secure AVD through creating a conditional access policy and forcing multi-factor authentication. Now, you may think, oh, well, that's quite standard Microsoft 365. But in actual fact, you actually create a conditional access policy specific to WV or AVD. So it's not just, enabling MFA for all Microsoft 365 applications. It's specifically to AVD. So what we'll do is, mate, we'll jump into the portal. So we'll jump into Azure AD and we'll take a look at those steps, okay?
Yeah, cool, let's go for it.
So Simon, just before we move on with this episode and get on with doing our demo, just wanted to do a quick shout out to the sponsor of our video and our entire series, PolicyPack. So a massive thank you to our sponsor for this video series, PolicyPack. PolicyPack is a modern desktop management platform for the anywhere workforce. PolicyPack provides a powerful policy creation, management and deployment framework that extends the policy management, security, automation and reporting capabilities found within Windows Active Directory, Unified Endpoint Management Solutions, MDM providers, virtualization platforms and cloud services. PolicyPack comes with packs, each with its own set of customizable policies that enables IT and teams to solve today's most significant desktop management challenges like remote work, Windows 10 management, GPO sprawl, ransomware, group policy management and more. PolicyPack lowers IT costs, increases security, improves compliance, reduces GPOs and puts the IT admin back in charge. PolicyPack has hundreds of customers, over 1 million deployed seats, is an Inc. 5000 recognised company and a G2 crowd high performer. For more information, visit www.policypack.com and follow them on their Twitter page @PolicyPack. So yeah, Simon, that's just a bit about PolicyPack. For those, if you're not following them on Twitter, get following them, have a look at their website. But now let's get stuck into today's demo. So Simon, here we are in the Microsoft Azure portal, and we want to go to the Azure Active Directory. We're back in the Am IT Geek portal, by the way, so we're going to create our conditional access policy in there. So we want to get to the conditional access policy settings, so we go down to security, and here we click on conditional access. So we always want to create a new policy, and we'll just give it a name, so call it AVD MFA, because that's what it's going to be used for. And then we go to assignments. Now, looking at assignments, best practice recommendation, and my own recommendation is that you create a group and you assign users to that group, and then that group is assigned to this. It's just easier for management, and again, you can make that group specifically for AVD MFA. So again, for simplicity's sake and for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to click on all users. I mean, it gives you a warning there, but we're going to be selecting a specific application, so we won't get locked out of
Sure.
our tenancy or anything like that. So we can leave that as it is.
Okay.
Now, next when I go to Cloud Apps or Actions, so if I click on there, here what we need to do is, again, we've got an options here where we can go Cloud Apps, User Actions, or Authentication Context, which is currently in preview.
Yeah.
We're more concerned about Cloud Apps, so we want to leave it on Cloud Apps. But what it is, we want to include specific applications. So rather than doing all Cloud Apps like we did all users, we want to select specific applications. And here's where we can search for the specific applications. Now, in for whatever reason in my tenancy, I'm sure there's a reason for it. They'll probably miss a step somewhere, but essentially there should be two or at least one Azure Virtual Desktop application in here. But for whatever reason, mine still has the old version. So if I type in Windows, it's there, Windows Virtual Desktop. If I type in Azure Virtual Desktop, there's nothing to be found. So
it's outrageous.
I know they've just not updated my tenancy, or maybe I've not updated it. I don't know, but essentially you'd probably see something called Azure Virtual Desktop app or client app, or just Azure Virtual Desktop, depending on if you're using the classic version or not. Let's just, for argument's sake, assume that says Azure Virtual Desktop.
Sure.
we click on the tick box, then we select it. Okay. Then we want to go down to our condition, which is at the moment got 0 in it. So again, we've got options here around device platforms, locations, client apps, device state, filters. Now we want to specify the client applications this is going to essentially be for. So we click on configure, click yes. Now they all get ticked by default, but if we look at the bottom there, legacy authentication clients, Exchange has nothing to do with AVD authentication, so we can untick that. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Other clients as well. There's only two ways of connecting to AVD, either through the browser or through the mobile app and the desktop app. So again, in our case, let's just assume we're not going to be using the browser. We'll just leave it at mobile apps and desktop clients. Click on done. And now, before we can go ahead and configure it, we need to make sure we grant that access control. So click on control. Grant access is already ticked, but we just want to tick require multi-factor authentication.
Yeah.
So according to this now, all our users, but let's just assume there was a group there called AVD MFA. Everyone in that group would have to do multi-factor authentication if and when they try and connect to Azure Virtual Desktop. And again here, when we're enabling the policy, we can either leave it in report mode, on or off, so we're going to click ours as on. Now let's click create. That's going to create that policy now. So the next time we get a user who's trying to connect to AVD, they'll be prompted that if they've not registered before, they'll have to register MFA. If they've already registered, they'll just go through that whole process again.
Yeah.
Just like the normal MFA process when you connect into Azure or Microsoft 365 portal.
Yeah.
So again, this is another very short video, mate. Like I said, there are other ways to secure Azure Virtual Desktop, Simon. You can put in, like I said, I mentioned earlier in the episode, you can put in extra network controls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this securing through MFA is, if not a common, it's a must-have for me personally. It's not something that should be optional if you are ever designing a AVD solution. MFA, especially in the world we live in, where we've got people connecting from random devices from different locations. A lot of us are working from home, not in the office as much, so we're connected from our own personal devices as well. So it's key that you have that multi-factor authentication for your AVD solutions. All right.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I wanted to show you. So again, it's only a short video. Just before we do go, mate, again, let's have a quick chat and just remind people around the competition that we're having.
Definitely.
Yeah, Simon, that's today's short and sweet episode done. Just wanted to do a few minutes on probably just random, just a few minutes, just about really, just on how to secure AVD through conditional access and MFA. There's obviously a lot more you can do with that conditional access. You could actually configure it so users who are using it, they can't download or move any data or any content out of the session. So again, that's definitely a good solution if you're trying to secure your data. Make sure users can't migrate any data away from AVD or via AVD. So before we do finish, I want to give a quick reminder to our viewers, whoever's watching, that you've probably seen it on our social medias. We do have a competition. So I have the t-shirt behind me, as I've shown in the last couple of episodes. So that's the t-shirt that you can win. So it's Am IT Geek, and then the hashtag at the bottom, AVD0 and then it's got the hashtag at the back as well, Am IT Geek.
Very nice.
So yeah, you can win those, and to enter the competition, you simply need to obviously be a subscriber to the channel, and then comment on your favourite video. Just say, this is my favourite video, hashtag AVD0 and again, we'll pick 10 random winners, and we're looking to announce that probably just after around the first week of August. So again, keep an eye out on our Twitter feed, and we'll give you the exact date when it finishes and when we're going to announce it. So Simon, before we go, do you have any questions around what I've shown you in this episode?
No, I think it's. I've done some conditional access stuff already around like Office 365. So yeah, same principle, and like you say, I think it should be mandatory out of the box. Just that extra bit of peace of mind.
Yeah, I agree. As it should be for all for accessing any applications in 365 or Azure. You should, admins and users should have a MFA.
Definitely.
So excellent. Well, again, Simon, thank you very much.
No,
It's going
thank
to
you.
be it's going to be a tearful one next episode, mate. It's the last one of the series, episode 10.
Aww.
We'll try not to get too emotional.
Definitely.
So the last episode is just going to be around configuring some monitoring. Again, there are a lot of different solutions that you can use for monitoring. I think I've mentioned them plenty of times on this series. But Nerdio, if you've not looked at Nerdio already, anyone who's watching, definitely go watch Nerdio and go have a look at what they've got to offer, because they do some great integration with Azure monitoring and third-party monitoring. Again, what I just want to show you again, it's going to be, because we've done a lot of the time-consuming stuff, these sort of episodes are a bit more short and sweeter. It's going to show you how to integrate Azure Monitor and Log Analytics with AVD. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But thank you from me, and until next time, thank you and goodbye.
See you later.